What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you for joining. We gotta have a great show today. I was hoping some of the other Yellowstone guys will drop by. I said they'll be here, maybe. I don't know. But y'all are here. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna start the show in a minute. But howdy to everyone. Ham Radio Crusader, thanks for swinging by. I appreciate it. We got Scott in the back, and he's going to be helping me out, and it's going to be great. Pamela, thanks for joining. Ham Radio Prep Paul. No, you should have came on this adventure. It was fun. Wayne is in attendance. Yes. Greatness. All right. I am getting ready. I'm turning down the mic, and we all know what that's meaning. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm back after I missed a stream. I tried a stream, and it was kind of fun. It was kind of hokey. We had Starlink, but we had a blast on the trip, and we're going to be going over some pictures, and we're going to be looking back and just kind of doing some posts looking, and we're just going to have some fun tonight. I am going to enjoy it, and as always, we're going to start it all things right with play that awesome intro video! Quick shout out to all my Patreons who makes the show possible. You can support me by joining Patreon in the link below. And on to Tank Radio. First things first, I wanted to go ahead and let y'all know about a special limited time offer. This is limited time only. A link in the description below, or it's pinned in the chat, or it's pinned in the first comment of this video. This month, it's only a limited time availability. Like the whiskey tumblers, I am selling Tank Radio coffee mugs. These coffee mugs are great for camping. These coffee mugs are just gonna be amazing. They have my logo on it. I love the green. I love everything about it. You got to order now. This is a pre-order only, so I'm gonna order these, and then it's gonna take a month or two, and then I'll be able to ship them out. So there's gonna be a little delay when you order them, but it is only pre-orders only. If you want your Tank Radio coffee mug, go ahead and head over to Grapevine Amateur Radio and look under drinkware, and you'll see my mug, and order it now. Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? That's right, those mugs are pre-order only. As I said, I'm not going to restate again because you just heard, pre-order only. Get your mugs while you can, and after the order is closed, I will be ordering them, and then it's going to be about a month or so, and I'm going to send them out just like I did the whiskey tumblers. This is not it, but this is my whiskey for tonight. I got some leftover Woodford Reserve today, so we're going to be enjoying that. And thank you to Ham Radio Prep Paul. Why aren't you highlighting? You have highlights. I know I have highlights. Ham Radio Pet Paul gifted 5 memberships. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. You are amazing. I don't know why. Oh, I have the chat layover disabled. Bam! There it is. Thank you very much, Paul. You are awesome. Thank you for those gifts of subs. I got my POTA tie-on because I just got back from amazing POTA activation, and we're going to tell you about it. But first, I am a little rusty here. Let me go ahead and do the rundowns. Thank y'all to my Patreon and YouTube members. I can't do this channel without y'all. Y'all support is awesome, and thank you. The mugs are on sale. I talked about that already. Buy Me a Beer is active. It's still there. If you want to use it, that's great. I have the sticker pack. I had one of y'all order stickers recently. Thank you. These sticker packs are amazing. There are three stickers that I don't hang out at any other Hamfest. You can only get them in the sticker pack. I might show y'all here maybe next live stream. Let's do that. And Gigaparts has my tank radio boonies, 5% off of Gigaparts. And there's also 5% off on Alpha antennas. Links are in the description for all the affiliate links, and you get your discounts. Finally, my audio podcast is out there on any audio podcaster app that you have. If you go ahead and just search Tank Radio, you will find me, Tank Radio, and you can listen to me there. There is two audio podcasts there that aren't released on YouTube, and that's where they are. And you got to go to your audio podcast to listen to them. All right, I think I got through everything. I am unmuting the back room, and I'm finding the right Zumo. Oh, Zoom is not zooming. Interesting. Hey, we can hear you, Scott. Let me fix this really fast. So you're there, and I'm going to fix the screen here. Oh, it was the update that threw the Zoom screen, I bet. Zoom primary. I just got to tell it which Zoom screen is primary. Participant meeting, this one? Maybe? How you doing, man? We can hear you.
Yeah, I'm doing fine, man. Oh, there you are.
Got me. It took me a minute to find it, but once I do, there it is.
Since none of your Yellowstone buddies showed up tonight, I'll play the part of Scott Dutton.
Yes.
The Yellowstone Ranch.
I love it. I love it. How have you been, man? You had a heck of a time.
Yeah, it's been a wild roller coaster, man. We had that storm that came down here a couple weeks ago, that hurricane.
The hurricane.
And 80 to 100 mile an hour winds blowing through my backyard.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh yeah. Well, here's the good news. My GP9 never moved. I lost one of the radials that comes off of it, but it fell on the ground. So I got that. Just got to climb back up and screw it back in. No big deal. That survived. I wasn't about to take it down anyway. I got it bolted in with these huge 3/8 inch carrier bolts that are, bolted into the side of my roof. My new DX Commander Signature 9, which is guyless, it just has a 4-foot pole stuck in the ground that it kind of sits on. Didn't move.
Wow.
Yeah, I was very impressed.
That's awesome.
I eventually went out there, just picked up and undid all the radials, undid the coax, and picked up and laid it down in the backyard, not wanting to tempt fate. But for the majority of the storm, before I decided to do that, it just sat there. It was leaning over with the wind, but never broke, never nothing. So if you're ever looking for a good strong antenna, the Signature 9 is definitely the way to go.
Nice.
I'm very happy with it.
Nice. But you said it's still raining there since the hurricane?
Man, it has not stopped raining here. But we had a couple days where it was okay. But we had that was all days we were picking up debris. We had fences blown down. My neighbors don't know how to do anything, so I had to go out there and pull all the concrete pilings out with a 18-wheeler jack, and then I had to put new posts in, dropping the concrete. Of course, they weren't helping. So it just took longer for me to do it. But I got 3 fences fixed, cost about $200, and a lot of time. But it just kept raining, and we just finally got the last part of the fence up the other day. And as I told you earlier before the show, we're out there with, electric saws and drills and stuff out there cutting wood and pouring rain, trying to get the last part of this fence. I was just tired of looking in my neighbor's backyard. But we got it all done, and it just continued to rain. We got that. I guess we finished that on last Monday, and it's rained every day here, off and on for 7 days straight or longer.
Wow.
So I'm hoping we're at the end of it, but we'll have to see what happens.
And any permanent damage to the house, or it's just the lost fence boards and stuff?
No, before we moved into this house 6 years ago, I had them put a whole new roof on it, 50-year warranty. I'm very careful about a lot of stuff. We did lose part of our garage door, the side door of my house. We had the garage is detached, and it's a side entry door, and that blew open. And the wind came in and blew the garage door itself off the tracks. So I had to go in there during the storm, try to finagle it back into somewhat of a working condition. I sat there and barricaded myself inside the garage for 2.5 hours with power, mosquitoes everywhere, and the wind blowing, trying to blow this thing right off the hinges.
How could there be mosquitoes during the hurricane?
Well, they were in the garage.
Oh, they're hiding
Yeah,
in the garage.
yeah, they're hiding in the garage. Don't tell them what the hell else was hiding in my garage that day. But yeah,
Mhm.
it was an experience.
Oh man. Well, I'm glad you're safe,
Yeah, me
and
too.
no major damage, man.
All those 25 years of being a prepper and doing all that prep work for zombie apocalypse crap actually
Hmm.
paid off because we had our generator that I wheeled out there, and it took about 15 gallons a day. So I had to drive about 20 miles outside of town every morning to go get gas at whatever
Hmm.
gas station was around, sit in line for half an hour to get gas and come back home and refill it. That would last us for one more day. So that was the only inconvenience of it, but we had power the whole time just because I had the generator going.
Wayne says it's finally stopped raining in Kong Row today.
Nice. Yeah. It's supposed to stop raining here tonight, I think, at some point. I think we're at the very end of it, but
So is this still from all the hurricane?
no, this is a completely separate, unrelated, just some front that came through and just decided to stall right over my house.
Oh man, jeez. All right. Well, I'm glad this will finally end for you,
Yeah,
and there's
me
nothing
too.
major there. Um, I've been on the road. I spent a week at home and kind of relaxing from the vacation, from the vacation. Can you say
Did you
kind of hear
drive
that?
up or fly up?
I drove with Jason,
Okay.
and that was the first video that dropped pre Handfest on my channel. Me and Jason drove 2 days to get to St. George, Utah,
Hmm.
and we stopped on the second day a couple sites along the way, and we did some POTA and we did some sightseeing, and that was pretty fun. We stopped at a what was it, Indian trading post. It was
Hmm.
opened up in the 1800s, and it's still open and active today.
Pretty cool. Did you find
That
anything in there you liked, or
Yeah, but I bought some habanero jelly that they made on the
very
reservation.
cool? No peyote jelly, huh?
No, no, government job. I can't do
Ah,
that. um, but that was fun, and it was very interesting to learn the history there. I forgot the name of the place, but me and Jason activated it, and then we looked on the leaderboards, and guess who was there? Our friend Charlie. He was
oh, okay.
there. Red Summits RF. He activated, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." Um, then we just kind of took it easy, driving up to St. George, and then we were there for the Zion Ham Con Ham Fest, and that was a blast. It Everyone keeps saying it was small, and they aren't wrong in that, but it's their first Ham Fest, guys.
So
Um,
how? Okay, so compare. Let me have something I can compare it to, like the
mhm.
Belton Ham Fest we go to over there every year. Bigger or smaller than that?
um, Kind of smaller, but they actually had vendors there.
Oh, okay.
There was Icon was there. Gigaparts had a booth there, just a booth, and it was like a presence. And hi, we Icon, or I'm sorry, Gigaparts hasn't forgotten about the West areas, and they're trying to figure out if they're going to do their new store concept. I was talking to him for a while. Signal Stuff was there, of course. Buddy Pool was there. And a bunch of the club vendors were there. The 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 their emergency response for the county set up a portable shelter inside the Hamfest, and they
Hmm,
were showing how that they can set up the shelter and then set up all the radios because the special event station was inside this portable shelter, and that was pretty unique and cool.
that's cool.
Gordon. For the ARRL was there, and they had the ARRL Western Convention out there.
Hmm.
Have you ever? Okay, here's the story. Here's a story. Um, have you ever been to a ARRL meeting?
I have not. I assume it probably reads like the Wall Street Journal.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it was rough. A lot of people, I'm not gonna say um 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 yeah, it was rough.
Like watching paint dry, or is there actually something
Well, there's just a
interesting?
lot of people whining and be like, "Why did you
Ah,
do it this way and not that way?" and da 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 da. Which okay, but One part they were talking, and they always ask this question from the audience. Someone in the audience is guaranteed to ask this question. What is the ARRL gonna do to get the youth more interested in ham radio?
That's a big question. A lot of people have ideas for, but nobody ever seems to act on it.
Yes. Well, actually, the ARRL is acting on it in a huge manner. We got
Yeah,
Steve Good Game reaching out doing the Teacher Institute, where he brings in teachers and teach them how to teach science with ham radio and gives them equipment, and then he helps them support them on the phone and get all that running. The
very cool.
ARRL has at every convention I've seen like a little kids area now with a couple of quick experiments that they can run, and I highlighted that in the video. And I think they're doing a lot to capture the youth. Um, but one guy rose his hand up, and I attended this 1 hour talk. I was in the back. I had my laptop out. I was editing, of course, on my free time when I'm at a convention. I was editing, and I was sitting next to this gentleman, and I am editing video, and he stands up. I have a point, and the guy recognizes him. What we can do to get the YouTubers more interested in ham radio, because the kids are watching YouTube, and
Is this
they
guy living under a rock?
and no one's watching Facebook or any of these other things the ARRL does. What can we do to get the YouTubers interested? And I just start doing the slow turn, as I've been sitting next to this gentleman for an hour
Right. So you know who
editing
you are.
video about the convention. Even some video I
Wow.
shot as he saw me like do a pan sweep, and I took out my phone and took the video off my phone, and I was having that in there, and I saw him look over at my screen a couple of times, and then I panned the crowd. I see
Yeah.
people had like shaked my hand. I've given stickers to, just like looking at him and looking at me and looking at him and looking at me. I'm just like, ah. Oh, I was kind of like, I can't believe this is happening to me. Um, and then after the meeting was over, I stood up, and when I walked out, I said, "Hey, sir, Tank Radio, YouTuber, nice to meet you." And I walked out.
Nicely played.
I was like, I'm done. No, no.
Yeah.
I was just
Well,
like,
obviously, just by asking that question, he doesn't even use YouTube. So where does he come off
mm-hmm,
telling the ARRL to
I
get
know.
involved? Didn't know who you sitting next to you, didn't recognize Jason.
Yeah.
Jason's a pretty prominent figure in YouTube
Mm-hmm.
fandom, at least for ham radio.
Ham Radio
Uh,
Prep Paul. Yes, there's so many YouTube channels now.
yeah,
Uh,
there's a
I
crop, I mean,
agree.
crap load of them.
It happened to me. So after that, I went and told Jason, and Jason just pretty much fell on the floor laughing, man. Uh, it it was funny. I loved
Yeah.
it. It happened to me. That was great. But that here's my thing, and I talked to Jason about this. This convention was small, but the area is correct. We have conventions at Huntsville. We have conventions in Dayton. We have conventions in Orlando, all in the east, northeast, southeast, mideast.
Mm.
There's nothing in the west. And I think
Yeah.
Utah would be a great place to have a ham radio convention for the west. So
I've actually wondered myself sometimes how many ham operators are out in that area, the Utah, Montana, Wyoming area.
Utah used to be, and it's still big with ham radio operators because of the church out there. We're just going to
Yeah.
refer to it as the church.
Yeah.
Um, and I was talking to several of their members at the Ham Fest, and they are like is not just one person told me this. The church is investing more in satellite phones now. It used to be a lot of ham radio, go get your license, go get your license, and a lot of people kind of fall away from that after they got their license, but now it's just sat phones, sat phones, sat phones.
But
Well,
sat phones require subscriptions, monthly fees, all this other crap.
thank you, and it requires
That's
that thing to be in the sky to work.
yeah, that would kind of help.
So if the thing's not in the sky to work, how are you going to get a signal out? How are you going to talk to anybody?
Yeah, you got a $1,200 paperweight.
Yes.
Yep.
So that was is it was interesting. It was interesting. Ooh, other thing that happened. I wish I had a better picture. I did do a short on this. During the convention, I guess lightning struck because there was a storm and took out a transformer, and we were without power for a good 3, 4 hours.
Wow.
But me and Jason, since we had all of our camping gear already in the room because we didn't want to leave it in the truck, um, we had two of those. Hold on, I'm playing with my mic. Stop Windows. Grr. We had two large bilateral, or not bilateral, EcoFlow batteries. We had the EcoFlow generator, which we weren't going to run in the room, but it was in the room.
Yeah.
We had converters, we had radios, we had lights. We just turned on all our lights. We had our laptop up and going, and it was nothing to us. It was literally nothing. I should have taken a picture of it and had it. Sorry, I'm transitioning things here.
Yeah.
Have it where you see the whole hotel and one room lit up. I wonder whose room are we in?
Well, it kind of shows you the benefits of being prepared.
Yes, yes, it was fun. That I did that short and it was hilarious. We did not turn on the TV, but we could have if we wanted to.
Oh, easily.
From there, we went to Buddy Pole. Buddy Pole was fun. We hung out with Chris from Buddy Pole for a couple of days. Did a lot of activations, and we ate some good food. Slept
Nice.
at we slept good. We slept good. Then from there, we went up. I forgot the place name, and now, at 22 mark, we get into the Yellowstone. Robert's joining. Um, we went up and activated a park in the tip of Idaho.
Okay.
So we activated Idaho, we activated Utah. I think me and Jason also activated Arizona because I needed it. Um,
Very cool.
yep,
She just made the rounds basically.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Then we met up with Shane, picked up Robert over in Salt Lake City. He flew into Salt Lake. Um, and uh, Salt Lake, Jackson. We met Shane in Jackson Hole, and Kyle was with us by then, and we all went up through the Grand Tetons. Oh, okay.
Very cool.
Oh, the Grand Tetons. That is a beautiful, beautiful valley.
Yes, it is. That's where I plan on living someday.
Summit View Campground in Idaho. That's where we activated. Kyle, you know where the link is in our Yellowstone chat. If you like to join, come on in. Um, yeah, the Summit View campground in Idaho was very fun, and we had a blast there. Then we drove through the Grand Tetons, overshadowed by Yellowstone. They are a beauty within their own part, and
Hmm.
if you can spend time there, there's just a lot of beautiful valleys and landscapes and buffalo Grand Tetons.
There's years of
Oh
exploration you could
yeah,
do there if you
but
had the
but
time for
since it's wearing Yellowstone as a top hat,
it.
it's just people drive through and say they did it. And guess what we did? We drove through and say we did it. We drove
Yeah.
through, stopped for an hour.
You observed.
We didn't get it on video, but we did a 5.2 and 440 activation of the Grand Tetons.
Hmm.
Um, we because we didn't really want to set up the HF radio, but
Yeah, you know.
but we had like 8 hams. We're like, we could almost activate this between all of us. And we
Yep.
did. We threw out a couple of club calls. That's how we got it to work. We did call out on 5.2, but no one was around. All the activity we're talking on 5.2 the whole time. It was so much fun.
Hmm.
Then we drove up to Yellowstone, stayed in the Grant Village campgrounds, and we're getting to the part where I have pictures
Is that
now.
still within the Yellowstone National Park itself?
Grant is in Yellowstone National Park.
So you could set up a radio right there at your campsite and still be within the POTA park and make an activation, no problem.
Yes, and
Very cool.
Shane and Mike and 8YO did. Um, so we're going to rewind a little bit. After St. George, we went through Bryce Canyon, and that's what this picture is right here. Haha, I did it.
That's gorgeous.
Uh huh. and this is not even the good ones yet. Um, this is all Bryce Canyon looking around. No, no, Zion, Zion. Bryce is where I'm looking into the valley. Zion is the valley looking up. The beautiful red mountains here are just gorgeous.
Yeah, you don't
Uh,
see anything like that anywhere else in this country.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And the colors here are pretty. Let me make sure Robert's not trying to come back yet. Not yet. You got the nice road here, which took me like 10 minutes waiting for no one to be on that road to get that picture.
Were you able to catch any sunrises or sunsets? Because that's when the colors of these mountains stuff really just shine.
No, the time me and Jason did Bryce, we
Hmm.
were driving through
Ah,
Bryce
okay.
and Zion. Um, the next one I have here is a rattlesnake that we saw. So I topped Mike's rattlesnake on the road, and I got one here.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hook a piece of coax to him, turn him into a dipole.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Um, and this is still Bryce. It's just oh, here we go. Here's Bryce. Bryce, that beautiful red.
Wow. That's insane.
It's just a beautiful, beautiful red.
So
And
you could explore that for months.
oh, talking about exploring. This is the trail right here to go down it.
Oh, wow.
That's how small it is. Or I'm sorry, that's how large this is, and that's how small
Yeah.
you are way down there.
Right. A
And just
flea on the back of a camel.
um me and Jason didn't do Bryce, but when we were looking at the map to meet Kyle, we're like, we're driving through Zion, yes. But then when we got close, I was like, Bryce is only 30 minutes off the road, an hour penalty just doing it, another hour of activating. We should do it. He's like, okay, okay. And we drove in there, and it was just so beautiful. I have a picture. Um, yeah, no,
That's
still
an
trying to
amazing
join
picture right there, man.
here.
Oh, sorry.
These are people on the trail.
Oh, wow.
This,
That's kind of a grand scene there.
yes. Oh, so beautiful.
Yeah.
Now we're Grand Tetons.
Yep. Tetons.
Kyle still corrected me in the chat. Tetons. Whoa! Remote desktop. They're freaking out here.
Whoa.
I don't want to be there yet. Blah 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 blah. I love
This is
waterfalls.
for the
So
people in the audience here watching this that are speed readers.
yeah, right. Buffalo. This is the largest. Well, I did see more, but okay. Tangent here. What happened to the buffalo herds? I've been to Yellowstone 3 times prior to this trip, and I remember seeing buffalo to the eyes just out there in the wild. It didn't really hit us until the last day we were driving out, and then we were stuck behind buffalo on the road. I expected the buffalo just standing on the road every day trying to get anywhere because that's what my experience has been. Buffalo figured out walking on the road is easier than walking on the grass, and it gets you where you want to go.
Well, I
Uh,
mean, they do migrate. They migrate in herds to different areas of the park, and that park is what, a couple 100,000 acres,
oh,
million acres.
huge, huge.
Yeah, it's massive. So they could have been anywhere.
Hmm. Um, yeah, I did talk to one ranger about it, and he said they were kind of in the middle of the migration and they're herding up, and they it just wasn't quite there yet.
Hmm. I mean, I
Uh,
think they're on the other side of the park going, "Where's Frank?"
yeah, pretty much. And let's go back here. Now, this is a spot that Shane wanted to stop at. It's in the Grand Tetons still, and this is where we played Phi 2 radio and for the activation. This was a beautiful sight, and it was a road pull off. A lot of people were stopping, and I think this might have been one of the places they called Mirror Lake. On a
Hmm.
smooth day, you can see some of the reflections already down here, but there's too much ripples in the water.
Mm.
to get
It's
that
still
rare
gorgeous.
reflection. Oh, I know. And I'm going to be a little truthful. Only slight color corrections here. These are
Huh?
true colors. The only reason I needed to do it was there's a lot of haze from wildfires that are
Yep.
hundreds of thousands of miles away. And Hen Radio Prep, yes, we did miss the geyser. We were one day short of seeing that geyser explode.
Well, if you saw the pictures or the video that people took of that, they're all running for their lives.
I want to be there. I still want to be there. Yeah.
It would have been fun if you were sitting in front of it and doing Tang Radio and it blows up behind you.
Ah, epic video. Totally worth it. Totally worth it.
Yeah.
This is Bumblebee Geyser. This geyser does not regularly have a schedule. It's kind of random. And
Mm.
when we were in the gift shop, I heard them say, "Hey, this geyser's about to go off, and it's more spectacular than Old Faithful." And I was like, "Okay." And I walked around, and I got some good photos of it.
Very nice.
It was so cool, and it has this little secondary thing going off here.
Mm.
When I finally switched lenses, it stopped because it was almost done. But just look at that force and power the Earth
That's
is.
crazy.
Just that's just raw steam, and all
Should have
the
brought some shirts out with you. Could have got them steamed.
yeah, and but all this water, all this superheated water, has been water filtering through the Earth for over 1,000 years.
Yeah.
And now it's bubbling up constantly in all these springs and geysers and stuff. It's the forces here at Yellowstone. It's just awe inspiring. Um, Here we go. This is Old Faithful steaming before it goes off, and we got a nice little stream right there. I love the
Hmm.
framing. I didn't realize my f stop on this one was little short because I would
Hmm.
have loved to got everything in focus. But it's still kind of cool.
Yeah. Still looks good.
And then it's going off. Nice big boom. And this is
That's the thing I was hoping you guys were going to go see. That
Grand
weird.
Prismic. It's the one I cannot say. This is beautiful. Shane did do the 2 mile hike trail to get the view down.
Yeah.
I did it around the edge just so I can just take some photos and I got some nice ones. I did try to do a little bit of hey Robert, thanks for joining again.
Am I here? Am I really here?
Yes, sir.
So far.
So far, so good. Hey,
Um
guys.
hey man. I tried to be experimental with the photography. I got like really, really low, but I just got a lot of browns because unfortunately the oranges weren't up on that boardwalk. Um, we're kind of walking around Yellowstone right now. What were your thoughts, man? How did you enjoy the trip?
Oh, man. It was my first time there, so I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, the views are just out of this world. They're everything you expect from Yellowstone or, one of the big national parks.
Hmm.
It's all that and more. It's really impressive. I had a
Yeah.
great time.
It was amazing. I loved everything about it. Um, all right, this is trying to do something. I don't know what my computer's trying to do. I was
So
trying to move all these locally. Go
that
ahead.
multicolored pool you took a picture of, is that water or is that some other chemical reaction? What causes these?
Yes. So,
Is it a pool of acid?
yes,
Oh, really?
yes, these pools are very acidic. Because it's just the area around there. It's very if you're around any of these, you'll smell sulfur. You smell eggs, and it is a very acid type pool. This let me change this and back. This happened 2 months before we got there. Someone was trying to take a picture of another pool, fell in, and they couldn't get to his body because these pools are super hot, like almost boiling. Some of them, they couldn't get to his body and decided to come back to get it tomorrow morning. or the
that's
next
a good
morning.
idea.
The only thing left at that point was his shoe. So, you tell me how acidic they are.
Well, I definitely would. I definitely wouldn't jump in for a dip to cool off.
Oh yeah. Yep. Other than that, very, very deep blues because it's super, super clean water. Then you got the yellows and some of the greens is algae in the water, and the oranges and reds are from rust.
Yeah, the aerial shots I've seen of that particular site are just phenomenal. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's something to get lost in for hours.
Mm-hmm.
Almost reminds me of that space picture of the Eye of God.
Mm-hmm.
Looks very similar.
This was fun. We'll see it in the video. I haven't really started doing the video yet. Of after no, it was before we hit Grand Prismic. Prismic. How do you say that? Can you say it, Robert?
Charismatic.
Prismic. We stopped at Fire in the Hole Lake, and another beautiful shot behind us. And let's see if I can get to those pictures really fast. Yellowstone images. Blow blue. There we go. Here we go. This is where we activated at Fire in the Hole. We set up behind Jason's truck. This spot had no internet access. Zero. No cell phone access. All through, we checked everyone's. AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. No one had internet. So if you don't have any of those three, you don't have any of the subsidiaries.
Well, that's why they make ham radio, right?
Yeah. Yep. And that's what someone was coming up to us. Are you talking to someone? Are you no one has signal here and you're talking to someone in Maine, they said? Like, yeah, amateur radio. This is how you get a signal out like this when you have no signal.
Now, was that a Tar Heel he had in the back of his truck there?
Yes, this is, but it's not hooked up. He was missing some wiring for it. So that is
It's
not
like the
hooked
largest
up.
Tar Heel I've ever seen.
Yep.
It
we
was
were
pretty cool. I mean, every time we set up, we had somebody that stopped to see what was going on.
yeah.
Right. There was a lot of curious people. Oh, and at this spot, remember, Frank, somebody walked up and was talking to TO
Mm-hmm.
while we were doing this activation.
Mm-hmm.
And, just like there's there's 6 people in the world that do ham radio.
Yep.
Right. This woman's like, hey, do you know this guy named Randy? He's like K7 something G, and Tio goes, you mean K7AGE? Randy? Yeah, I know him.
Yeah, that I do remember that. I forgot about that
That was
story.
hilarious. That was hilarious.
I loved it. That was cool. Dawn, let's take a second here. Thank you for the 10 gifted memberships. I do appreciate that, and everyone who picked them up. Awesome. And be sure to we got Chuck coming in now. Be sure to prolong that membership and stick around. You can see in the background here we use the Buddy Stick Pro every time we were activating.
Well, you gotta use your imagination there. Show that again, Frank. I mean, you can barely see that thing.
Yeah, it's right through there.
There you go.
So what bands were y'all operating on?
Mostly 20 and 40.
Were you having any difficulties way out there in the middle of nowhere getting on certain bands, or was it pretty much open season?
What the pictures I was showing in Bryce, then we had the issues. Because we were in the valley. Other than that, at Yellowstone, no, it was wide open.
Right.
It was hardly any issues. It was so much fun. Then let's go back and go through my colorful pictures. Hey Chuck, man, how are you doing?
Good. It's early here, so I
It's
was mowing
early.
yards, man. Sorry. Yeah, it's 4 o'clock here, dude.
It's all right,
I
man.
had chores to do that I was behind on because of Yellowstone. So
I'm right there with you, Chuck. Right there with you, buddy.
And I'm still not caught up, but at least I got the yards mowed today.
Same here. I'm feeling it. Here is the
I'm
lovely.
kind of excuse my appearance. I'm in the work clothes. I'm sorry.
You're fine,
They
man.
look pretty good from here
I
out.
thought you
but
were
then-
just busting out the guns there. You
Mm-hmm.
got the
well, that too, yeah.
yeah.
With my wife beater on or something. I think.
I'm gonna flip through here.
How are you guys?
Doing good, man. We
Good.
saw a coyote when we're there.
Oh, nice. Did you guys get that picture?
Yes, this
Mhm.
is mine.
Good job, Frank.
Thank you.
Wait,
Thank
I
you.
didn't see any coyotes. That was one thing I didn't. Coyotes.
The coyote was. This is the first time I saw coyotes.
Oh, and that was cool too because there was a little. Remember, there was like a little mule deer or something that was running around, and that coyote was,
On it?
trying to be crafty. Yeah,
Mhm.
it was trying to stay low and follow that little mule deer
was.
around.
And here's the other one, nice one I got. A black bear.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with black bears.
This one was about 200 yards off, and I used a 300 millimeter zoom lens to get that picture. But it was beautiful. I love seeing bears. But
Yeah, me too, from a distance.
I've been less
Right.
than 5 feet from a black bear twice.
Oh, me too, but it was a rug.
No, they were alive.
You just have to be you just don't have to, you can't be the slowest runner,
Mhm.
Right.
Right.
which I'm getting to that point, I think.
But you were hanging out with Javi, and you and Javi did a summits on the air. Well, Javi did, and you
Well,
tried to
Javi
help.
did. I attempted it,
Mhm.
but I got, excuse me. I'm still sick, man, from
Oh no.
before Father's Day. I mean, I'm pretty good now, but
Mhm.
everything's a little worked up from mowing. But yeah, I went about quarter mile or so on the trail, and it was almost 2 miles.
Mhm.
And I just told Javi, man, I couldn't breathe deep and stuff, So I'm like, you know what? I could probably make it and maybe make it back, but it would probably ruin the rest of my trip. So I
Oh
wouldn't be in
no.
a good shape. So then
What
he ended
el-
up going back the next day because he left his mast up there.
Yeah, he did.
What elevation were you guys at up there? I'm just
We were at
curious.
around 8,000 feet to start with. So
Yeah, the
that wasn't
park's at
helping.
like
That'll make the air a
8,000.
little thinner.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it was noticeably different from Texas altitude. The
Yeah,
first,
well, we're at sea level down here.
yeah.
Shoot,
we
I'm
have
at
fat
I'm at
air.
like 18 feet here with,
Yeah,
with
I
like
couldn't.
Bay Breeze.
I could not drink enough water. I was constantly drinking
Mhm.
water, and I couldn't drink enough.
It was
Right.
a
Same
lot.
here.
But we had a blast. All the activations we did on this trip were with the at least I did the Yezu 819 or 980 918
891.
891.
891. See, I had the numbers, dyslexic them all
Whose
over the
radio
place.
was that?
What?
Whose radio was that?
That was Jason's. He had it in the man pack.
Oh, he has one of those too.
Yeah, and we ended up using the Buddy Pull the whole time, and the Buddy Stick Pro. That Buddy Stick Pro, after a while, we got it to tune it up like fast and started using it. So I'm starting to see the joys of it because I wasn't a
Right.
fan until this trip.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
used-
it deploys super quick. That's the other thing
Yeah.
that's really sweet.
Yeah, I love the portability of it, but I think I got rid of mine just because I don't want to sit there and take the time to tune it every time I want to change bands.
Mm-hmm.
So
I used our Poseidon at the campsite there.
Yeah.
And that worked great. I mean, I did a activation 16 minutes. I had 14 contacts with, like you said, no internet, so I couldn't post myself up or anything like that.
Mhm.
So I thought that was pretty decent.
No Buddy Hex. Jason didn't bring it. And from the attention we are getting around the campsite, we didn't want it to leave it out there.
Right. That's the only thing, man. Those like even the Moxons, people like, what are you doing there? It's only one wire and
Mm-hmm.
it's a little bit smaller, but well, it's longer one way and smaller the other. But
Well, I think we're so used to going out and setting up and not having anybody be curious enough to walk up and ask what we're doing that when you finally get in a situation where people are like, hey, what is that? It kind of throws you off a little bit.
Well,
Yeah.
I had a guy behind me that was a ham, and he came over and asked me all about it. And he says, "I want to get into HF," and gave him our information on stuff, and
he
he
didn't.
liked the antenna, so he
We
was like,
were
"Oh,
on
I'll check you guys
5-2 the
out."
entire time, and we did not hear another. We actually heard one other
I heard
operator in the
somebody else.
park.
I heard somebody else the day you guys were getting there, and you guys weren't there yet.
Hmm.
And Javi and I were in his truck with my wife, and we heard somebody talking. We thought it was you guys at first, but you guys were, I mean, you guys weren't there for hours after that. So it wasn't you guys. So there
Yeah.
was somebody else there with, it could have been Chris. Was it Chris that we met?
Hmm.
Well,
Could have
well,
been
here's
him.
what was interesting. At some point, one guy comes back and says, "Hey, I'm out here, and I've been listening to you guys all weekend." So
Hmm.
he wasn't joining in, but
Right.
he was listening, right? He was curious enough. We were on 5-2, so everyone, the idea is to be easy to find.
Hmm.
But he said, "Yeah, I've been listening to you guys all weekend," which I thought was kind of fun.
Well,
Right.
come on, key up. That's you got
Yeah,
the
don't be
radio.
afraid.
You got the
Well,
license. Use it.
I'll tell you what, I went from there to California and didn't hear, I mean, I turned my radio off like 3/4 of the way through Idaho because I didn't hear anybody. I kept calling, I'm monitoring and all this stuff, and
Mhm.
nobody. It was just dead silence.
Yeah,
Mm.
we
California, I would have got people, but 'cause we have a lot
Texas
of
around the
2D action.
Houston area is a very active 5-2 area. We need to get Dallas and Fort Worth more active on 5-2, but it's a fun frequency, and in these bigger areas, yes, use 5-2 what it's supposed to be. You hear someone, hey, let's move up
Mhm.
5, and then you move up 5 and keep going. Don, we did not try GMMRS. Just
I don't think I even had any with me.
Yeah, I didn't even have it in the car. Jason actually might have had it in the truck, um, but we weren't really actively on GMRS.
We did try Meshtastic a little.
Yeah, did you get anyone there other than
I
us?
got Robert.
Yep. Chuck and I
And when
exchanged a message or two.
and I got Jason's.
Hmm.
His note hit me
Struck.
also. That was it though.
Hey,
Just
Frank,
us three.
Hmm.
we did get one more 5-2 contact. Remember when we were
I,
coming over the Beartooth Pass? We
yes,
got one, and that was like 80 miles away or
yes,
something.
yeah.
But we were at 10,000 feet.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, Beartooth Pass is the highway that you can drive in the northeast entrance of Yellowstone. And if you're going to do this drive, number one recommendation: do it as you enter the park. If you leave Yellowstone driving through the Grand Tetons and Yellowstone, when you drive through Beartooth Pass, you're going to be look at it, another valley, another valley, another valley with an awesome lake, another valley. Look at that stream with a valley. But if you do it beforehand, you could probably appreciate it much more. So that's my recommendation there. But
And
when
bring
we're
oxygen.
it was
Yes.
only 10, 11,000 feet. That's not
Yeah,
that bad.
only.
Yeah, 10,900 feet.
Jason did throw out his call at the top of one of the ridges and we got Billings, which we were going, and I did as the crows flies. That was about 60 miles away.
Wow. Was it 60? I thought it was 80, but 60 is probably better. That
Yeah.
probably makes more sense.
And we were surprised. It was a short QSO because we did it as we were driving, and we went down the ridge and they were gone. But it was just like, yeah, we can hear you. Awesome, man. Can we get your call and we'll put you in the. He's gone.
gone.
I was
in
like,
jail,
log
huh?
it, Jason, log it. Yeah, what's his call? I don't know. Ask him again. And we couldn't get him back.
Wow. I can
Line of
usually
sight.
we have I-5 runs north and south from border to border for California. And on that, I can usually get people about 50 miles away. It's fairly flat. But if you go and you kind of do this rolling hills thing.
Mm-hmm.
So on the upper hills, on the upper parts, you can get a little farther than when you go down. Sometimes you're blocked. But yeah, I listened all the way from Yellowstone to almost the border of Idaho, almost into. I finally just turned it off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all I have in mind was just a handheld, but it was 10 watts. But still,
Yeah.
I probably wasn't getting out that far.
Jeff, Alpha 4, Bravo Charlie said he and his wife activated Yellowstone last week. Congratulations. I want to get back again. I still want to go back to Yellowstone. We had fun. Did you think we explored enough of Yellowstone, Robert? Just that was your first time
Oh
there, right?
man. I mean, there's no way, right? You can spend 2 weeks there and not see
Yeah.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we hit the highlights.
We
You know,
did the highlights. We did the tourist stop and look elu attractions.
yeah. And you
It's
know, the
it's
other
hard
thing
though
I'd
because
say,
of the traffic. I
yeah,
mean, the parking is really
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
bad. This, I mean, we're probably the height of the season right now.
I don't have the picture, Robert. You put it in Discord, right?
Which one?
The picture of when we parked at Old Faithful. It popped up in my head when we said traffic.
I may have.
I'm scrolling through it. Blah 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 blah. Um, but yeah, the traffic was much more than what I actually anticipated. I anticipated traffic driving through the areas. However, I did not anticipate the parking being so immensely big and yet nowhere to park.
Right.
Nowhere to
Yeah, and then
park.
we went into one the day you guys left. We went out and looked at some stuff that Kathy still wanted to look at, and it was funny because people are like they're just pulling into the parking lot and just sitting there waiting for somebody to pull out. And finally, I
Hmm.
told Javier, some guy comes by and goes, "There's like 4 spots down at the end, guys." So we went past everybody. We didn't find anything that pass, but we did on the next pass. But um, when I went in, you guys probably went in the same place I went in
We came from the south
through
entrance.
through Yellowstone,
Hmm.
the town of Yellowstone, right? And I went right through. It was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. There was one car in front of me at the gate. When I went out, the line must have been all the way to town, which is like
Oh wow.
it was at least a mile and a half long.
That was the west
And I
entrance.
was yeah, and I was so glad that I didn't come when those people came. I asked the guy just for info. The guy at the gate told me around 12:30 is a good go in really early or 12:30 to 3 or 4. He
Hmm.
says is like the best times to go in. You guys came in late too. How was it for you?
We pretty much
It
literally
was
drove
sail.
through.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just clean sailing.
Yeah.
that's the way it was for us. And then going back as I'm going out, I mean, I have no traffic going out, but just, rows of cars, just,
Hmm.
you know, you know,
And from
30,
the
40 at a time, it was really bad.
entrance, because the west entrance is the one that has the larger city right there.
Hmm.
Because I forgot the city name there, but there's a little town,
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone Town.
Yeah, it was Yellowstone, I
Y-
think.
Okay,
You
yeah,
make you make a left, you make a left as you come through town and you're almost at the gate.
yeah.
I
You're
was surprised it was
literally
so close.
there. Yeah. And so a lot of people do day visits through that gate. So
Hmm.
they're just emitting people all the time through that gate. If you're camping or doing anything, use another gate. If you have time, that northwest gate through Beartooth Pass Highway was beautiful. If you got time, also the southern gate is also one of the activer ones, but you're driving through the Grand Teens to get through there, and take a night, spend a night there, because it was beautiful too, beautiful.
Jackson
Somebody had
was
a good
cool.
suggestion to go up there when school's back in session. So you have all the kids and the families
That
up
would
there
probably help
vacationing.
some.
Yeah.
But like my
Hmm.
wife
Yeah, for
said,
sure.
you get the people coming from Europe and everywhere else too, and they're
Mm.
totally different. So, but I didn't see. I mean, I did hear there was quite a few foreign, voices out there,
Hmm.
and she's probably right, but it probably is a little bit better.
Yeah.
Javi's cousin goes there a lot, and he said, "Oh." When Javi told him when we were going, he goes, it's going to be busy." So I expected it to be even busier than it was, to
Hmm.
tell you the truth. Because I saw pictures. My buddy sent me a picture of like I think it was like 4th of July, and it was like miles of just waiting.
Wow,
Mm.
wow.
So I'm sure that was a holiday weekend. It's probably bad. I don't go anyplace on the holidays if I can help it.
We did all this time. We did not talk about To's car. What he brought.
His Tesla,
He
yeah,
brought the Tesla. Did he make it out?
he did, and he got back in like a day and a half. It took him 3 days. He was supposed to be here a day early, and
Hmm.
that was my savior for a car, so Kathy could go out and look at things.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, that didn't happen, and Chuck was in a little bit of trouble
Uh-oh.
because I was supposed to take my Forerunner, but I was having problems with the Forerunner on. It needs to be smogged, which is my fault. I mean, it's been me to be smog for quite a while. And I just, when I was sick, I just ran out of time. I didn't want to mess with towing it, to tell you the truth, because I had to go dig all my stuff out to tow it. It's set up to tow,
Mm-hmm.
and it tows pretty decent. But I did pretty good on. I was just happy with fuel mileage in my motorhome. It got 8, what is it, 10, 12, and I don't. At the last one was probably even better because it was downhill for me,
Mm-hmm.
pretty much from Winnemucca.
It's
And the
it's
thing's
amazing
huge. So
something that big can get 12 miles to the gallon.
yeah, and this is the first, and that's the first time I checked it. I got 12, and at that time diesel was a little better. It's before they were moving some of the stuff out of it, but I was surprised, and I do think that like my last one, I have a tuner in it, so I got a 1, 2, 3, and I
Mhm.
usually run. I've been running on 2, and on the way back, I ran it on 1, which I think is the best mileage. It got. I mean, I went all the way from Winnemucca back to home, which is what did Kathy say, 362 miles, and I used about a quarter tank. Now it has a 90-gallon tank, but a quarter is less than 30 gallons. So, because I know I filled up one time halfway in between half and full because fuel was cheap. I
Mhm.
was. That's the nice thing about having 90 gallons. You see cheap fuel, or you pull into a town and it's really high. You just pull into the next town.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I've done that many times.
I see
But-
here right now, diesel's cheaper than unleaded.
When my buddy in
Than regular.
1997 bought his Ford diesel, it was like $1 a gallon, and it was cheap, like $1 cheaper than regular.
Yeah. I
And
just
now
noticed
it's
it
still
today.
popular.
It's
So when
15
things
cents
get
cheaper.
popular, they
Yeah.
want to rip you off.
Well, we're coming up to the top of the hour here, fellas. So let's go ahead and do the round the room. Final thoughts on Yellowstone, and where can we find more about you, Robert? Let's start with you, man.
Sure. Final thoughts on Yellowstone. Man, I loved it. I'm looking forward to the next trip that we do. It's such a blast hanging out with the crew that we've got. It's a really good traveling crew, which makes a big difference. If any of you've done any type of traveling in a group, you'll know what I mean. It makes a big difference when you have a good traveling crew. So
Right.
I had a great time. It was a blast. You can find me at Digital Rancher on YouTube, and I haven't even touched any of my YouTube footage. So I've got a couple satellite passes I'm going to put out there. I'm going
Mhm.
to put out some of our POTA activations, and then probably I'll just drop some pictures in the community tab in YouTube of some of the goings on. So great time, really enjoyed it.
Awesome, man. Thank you for joining. I loved having you out, and we're definitely going to do it again, man. Chuck, final thoughts on Yellowstone, and where can we find more information about you?
Well, I will probably go to Yellowstone again. I really enjoyed it. My wife enjoyed it, and we like you guys said, we just barely touched a piece of it, really. And next time I go, I'll actually have something to move around in. I'll probably try it. I'm going to try and investigate better times of the year to go when you don't have as many people, trying to park. Parking was really bad at times. And I put a couple videos. I put a video out today of stuff that I took to the on the trip for my radio stuff and stuff like that. And then I put one out on. I did work while I was there. You guys were all gone. I come back one day and my wife's gone, and Tio and her were supposed to go out. His car's sitting here. He's gone. So I just started recording videos. I did a solar generator and a box build, which I haven't put out yet. But I'm at KK6USY Ham Radio Adventures, and I do a little of Twitter,
Thank
and
you,
that's
Don, for
HRA.
pushing those out there. Appreciate it. He's putting
Looks
the
like
links
I
to your channel.
froze. I don't know. Oh, okay.
No, you did freeze.
I don't know why I'm not well,
You
maybe
are
I am
frozen.
frozen. Yeah. Well, anyhow, that's about all I had to say. I do HRA on whatever it is, X now, Twitter.
Awesome.
That's
Well,
about it.
thank you for joining.
know.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, sorry I was late, man.
It's
I
all
just-
right. We're just kicking back. This was an easy stream. Scott, man, where can we
Yes,
find
sir.
more information about you?
Well, I am Ham Radio for Non-Techies, and you can find me on my YouTube channel, and I've also got a Facebook group, and I have a website, hamradiofornontechies.com. I have been out of the loop for a little while because I've been taking a hiatus because I just published my new book. which has nothing to do with ham radio, but it's all about positive mindset to achieve your goals and stuff. It'll be look for that. It'll be released August 13th.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so that's gonna be coming out. And so yeah, I've been putting a lot of time into that and some of my other vocations and things, but I still got a couple projects on the fire, couple things on the bench I'm trying to get done. So we'll get those knocked out and get rolling. But I appreciate having me on tonight and hearing y'all stories and stuff. Sounds like y'all had a great time.
Yeah, next time you're definitely invited. And where can we find that book? It was at Amazon?
It'll be on Amazon, releasing in 7 different countries on August 13th.
Wow.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
Well,
Check
thank
that out.
y'all. Y'all are amazing. Hang out for a second. And boom! I just dropped the link to my Tank Radio mugs for the pre-order. Go ahead and pre-order now. They'll probably be up for another couple of weeks. I'm hoping my goal is 50. So I need to hit 50 to make this really, really valuable for me. So go ahead and order your mugs now. They're awesome mugs. My audio podcast is released anywhere that you listen to any audio podcast. Search Tank Radio and you'll find me. And thank y'all for all my subscribers who support me in doing everything I do here. I also wanted to say on the video I did on the channel update, thank you for all the positive feedback. That was amazing to see in all the comments there. I really did love it. I didn't have time to respond to everyone because I was on the trip when that video dropped. But thank y'all, thank y'all, thank you. That I really needed it, and I am going to be continue doing videos, and we're going to make this channel awesome and fun. And why is Microsoft doing that to my mic? As always, y'all, you're all amazing. Go forth and conquer. Say bye.
Bye. Thanks, Frank. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, I'm waving, guys. You can't see me, but I'm waving.
I love it. I love it. A quick shout out to all my Patreons who makes the show possible. You can support me by joining Patreon in the link below. And on to Tank Radio.